Genghis Khan. The name echoes through history, conjuring images of relentless armies, sprawling conquests, and unparalleled destruction. But is this the complete picture? Was Genghis Khan simply a barbarian, as Western accounts have often portrayed him? Or does a deeper understanding of his life and the world he inhabited reveal a more complicated, perhaps even contradictory figure? This video will investigate the evidence, examining the historical context in which he lived and the methods he employed to forge the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever seen. We will dissect his military strategies, explore his political innovations, and assess his cultural impact, moving beyond simplistic labels to understand the complexities of a man who irrevocably changed the course of history. To truly decide, we must consider the world that built Genghis Khan. Before Genghis Khan, the Mongolian steppe was a brutal landscape of constant warfare. Dozens of independent tribes, constantly vying for resources and dominance, engaged in near-perpetual raiding, theft, and deadly feuds. There was no central authority, no unifying force, only a chaotic scramble for survival. The environment itself presented immense challenges. Harsh winters, scarce resources, and vast distances demanded resilience and adaptability. The Mongols developed exceptional horsemanship skills, becoming masters of mounted warfare. Their society valued strength, courage, and loyalty, traits essential for survival in this unforgiving world. Raiding neighboring tribes was often a necessity, not simply an act of aggression. Born Temujin, the future Genghis Khan experienced this brutality firsthand. His father, a tribal chief, was poisoned, leaving his family to fend for themselves. Abandoned by their clan, they faced starvation and constant threat. Temujin himself was captured and enslaved. These early experiences undoubtedly shaped his worldview and his resolve. He escaped, vowing to avenge his family and unite the fractured Mongol tribes. His early hardships instilled in him a deep understanding of betrayal, resilience, and the need for unwavering loyalty. While not excusing his later actions, understanding these formative years provides crucial context for his motivations. Temujin's path to becoming Genghis Khan was a testament to his military brilliance and political shrewdness. He didn't simply conquer, he forged alliances, exploiting rivalries, and offering protection to those who submitted. His charisma and unwavering determination attracted followers from across the steppe. He revolutionized Mongol warfare. He organized his army into a highly disciplined fighting force based on a decimal system, ensuring clear lines of command and accountability. His cavalry archers, unmatched in their skill and mobility, became the terror of Eurasia. He also adopted siege warfare techniques, learning from the conquered peoples to overcome fortified cities. Perhaps surprisingly, Genghis Khan also introduced a written legal code known as the Yasa. This code, while harsh by modern standards, established a system of law and order within the Mongol Empire. It emphasized meritocracy, rewarding talent and loyalty regardless of birth. It outlawed theft and kidnapping, protected trade caravans, and, remarkably, promoted religious tolerance. For instance, the Yasa forbade the molestation of clergy of any religion and granted them exemption from taxation. It also mandated that lost animals be returned to their owners, reflecting the importance of livestock in Mongol society. He promoted individuals based on their abilities, not their tribal affiliations. This fostered a sense of unity and loyalty that transcended traditional tribal divisions. By 1206, Temujin had united the Mongol tribes under his leadership and was proclaimed Genghis Khan, universal ruler. From this point, the Mongol Empire exploded outwards, driven by a combination of ambition, a need for resources, and a strategic doctrine rooted in decisive victory and overwhelming force. The Mongol armies swept across Asia, conquering vast territories and leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Cities that resisted were often subjected to brutal sieges and massacres. The siege of Baghdad in 1258 is a particularly horrific example. The city, a center of Islamic learning and culture, was sacked, its libraries burned, and its population decimated. The Tigris River was said to have run red with blood. Similar atrocities occurred in other cities across Persia, Central Asia, and Eastern Europe. The Mongols used terror as a weapon, aiming to break the will of their enemies and ensure swift surrender in the future. Contemporary accounts paint a grim picture of the Mongol invasions. The Persian historian Juvayni wrote of the siege of Merv, They ordered that, apart from 400 artisans whom they selected and carried away into Turkestan, the whole population, including women and children, should be killed, and no one, whether woman or man, should be spared. These accounts, while potentially exaggerated, underscore the undeniable brutality of the Mongol conquests. The sheer scale of the death and suffering caused by the Mongol armies cannot be ignored. The population of some regions never fully recovered. The desire for wealth fueled the Mongol war machine. Conquered territories were forced to pay tribute, providing the Mongols with the resources to continue their expansion. However, security was also a factor. Genghis Khan sought to eliminate potential threats to his empire, preemptively striking against neighboring powers. The concept of Pax Mongolica, or Mongol peace, emerged after these destructive conquests. After the initial wave of destruction, a period of relative peace and stability settled over the Mongol Empire. This era, known as the Pax Mongolica, facilitated unprecedented trade and cultural exchange between East and West. The Silk Road, once a dangerous and fragmented network, became a secure and well-maintained artery of commerce. The Mongols invested in infrastructure, building roads, bridges, and a sophisticated postal system known as the Yam. This system allowed for rapid communication across the vast empire, facilitating trade and governance. The Mongols standardized weights and measures, further streamlining commerce. Cultural exchange flourished. Scientific knowledge from the Islamic world, including advances in mathematics, astronomy, and medicine, spread to China and Europe. Artistic styles and religious ideas also traveled along the Silk Road. The Mongol Empire, in a strange twist of history, became a conduit for the exchange of ideas that would contribute to the Renaissance in Europe. However, the Pax Mongolica remains a subject of debate. Did the benefits of increased trade and cultural exchange outweigh the devastation and loss of life that preceded it? Was the peace simply the result of Mongol domination? These questions continue to be debated by historians. So, was Genghis Khan a barbarian? The answer, as we have seen, is not a simple yes or no. He was undoubtedly a ruthless conqueror, responsible for immense suffering and destruction. But he was also a brilliant military leader, a shrewd political strategist, and a unifier who brought a degree of order and stability to a chaotic world. He created a legal code that promoted meritocracy and religious tolerance. He facilitated trade and cultural exchange on an unprecedented scale. Judging him solely by modern standards is problematic, as it fails to consider the historical context in which he lived. He was a product of his time, shaped by the harsh realities of the Mongolian steppe and the constant struggle for survival.